Welcome back, guys. This is Zone again. I'm going to show you the newest project I've been doing, a little side project. It's with my Ogre Kingdoms again. It is a hunter I converted from a man-eater. I only had one man-eater. I wanted to check out what it was like. As you can see here from the pictures, you can see that I started out, the man-eater was pewter, and I put on some bits from the Stonehorn and Thundertusk box set. Makes a really nice extra bits in that box set. There's a lot of them. I used some green stuff to sort of bring out his proportions. His left arm is small in comparison to the newer plastics. So I went ahead and added some green stuff to make it look like it was a coat sleeve instead of his actual arm. The reason why I did that is because now it looks proportional to his right arm instead of having this little weak arm like a gimp. I like the model, but I didn't want to have one metal pewter or one pewter man-eater and then have the rest of them be fine cast. When I get them, I want to actually have them all fine cast. As you can see here, I started out with what I call the ugly face. I wanted to show you sort of step by step how I did each level of the painting of this, because one thing that is very common, with at least with me, with how I paint, is you go through a very ugly phase and you have to sort of have the vision of what it's going to look like at the end of it. Otherwise you get frustrated and put them all down and just stop. Now I paint my ogre skin blue. I use color theory to then match it up to the colors I want. It makes it a unique blend. The next color I add is a yellow. Yellow and blue make green. Now depending on how much green you use, like you can see with the Nobbler on his shoulder, it turns out to be more yellow than green. That was done on purpose. Later I go over my Nobbler with a green wash from Games Workshop, and that actually ends up making him a different color than the actual ogre himself. The ogre I do lighten up again with a little bit of a bleached bone, which you'll see here very shortly. And that sort of gives it a fleshy tone. Whenever you look at flesh, it's never a single color. It has natural recesses, natural shadows, and that's what I did. The yellow in the bone matches with the yellow I put on top of the blue. The blue gives it a blackish feel, so that actually gives the lows and the highs and everything. I go over the bleached bone later with a further highlight, which is actually another yellow. Just straight up, I think it's like Starburst, or it's not Canary Yellow, it's whatever the new Game Workshop yellow is. And you'll see that later on. Now, some of the things I'm doing here is I'm trying to do this all at the same time. Normally I wouldn't try and do every piece at every step at the same time, but I'm trying to show you how it comes out. You can see here I've gone over some more final touches. The belly plate has changed in the top from being a green to a red. I just felt it was too much green. I wanted to bring in some other colors into the miniature. So that worked out nicely. I continued the breakup of the coat, excuse me, not the cloak, by putting a leather patch on his left arm. I did that later after I saw that the arm was very big, very exposed, wasn't a whole lot going on. I wanted something to happen over there. Here you can see the belly plate again. You can see the chest. You can see I started to do his eye. Now his left eye is actually missing, and I actually painted that white, and then I went over that with dark flesh like I did the scar above and below the eye, and I actually created the pupil of dark flesh. Now there's no actual pupil, but what it looks like is it looks like a rotting wound almost with the eye missing, and there's actually like a little bit of white to show like a infection or something. I could further that, but it's sort of hard to reach and it's not very big, so it would be hard to see. The tattoos I did by hand, and you'll see that I highlighted the coat, and then I went over it with a Baghdad black wash, and I went over again with a scorched brown. The original color was scorched brown, and I went over it with a really watered down scorched brown to do some wet blending. And you can see here on the belly plate I used several layers of several things, many washes to get what I did. And like I said, I think before, all my tattoos are freehand. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And keep in touch. We'll have more videos coming up shortly. Thank you.